So I guess when it comes to data security and privacy, the question you have to ask yourself is, do you actually care? If the answer is no, and you're basing your decision based on privacy and security, then you'll be okay with any one of these smart home platforms. Now, if you do care, you'll probably be leaning more towards Apple Home. Even if all three platforms were 100% secure, you still have to make a decision based on what those companies will do with your data. The business model between Apple, Amazon, and Google are very different, and each company will use that collected data accordingly. Basically, all the data that your Amazon Alexa collects is going to help you buy things easier. With the data that Google Home collects, it's going to show you things that you should, or it thinks that you should be buying. And with Apple Home, they're just going to convince you to spend more money on their overpriced hardware. This is the third part of my four-part ultimate Apple Home, smart home comparison between Amazon Alexa and Google Home. If you want to see the full version, I've broken it up for ease of watching. But if you don't watch everything in one go, do check out that longer video. In that longer video, I also talk about the fundamental problem that I've come across with all these smart home devices. So do check that out if you're interested. At Smart Home Reviews Eh, Monty and I actually buy everything, and Monty tries to use them. But we do this to answer the question, how do I get the most out of my home? And basically Monty and I are just sharing whatever we discover with you. All right, let's talk about data privacy. Amazon Alexa and Google Home are always listening. I have no idea what they are recording or not recording. It's nice to know that they're always there, but there is a certain level of uncertainty of what they're actually doing. I'm guessing at some point Amazon will automatically send me a box of facial tissue when it hears me complain that I'm out. And I'm guessing that Google's probably going to start showing me advertisements for things that I talk about in private. I honestly don't think we're too far off with Google Home listening to my conversations. Maybe I'm joking about ball gags, and I joke about it enough that Google Home is eventually going to show me advertisements on the websites through Google Ads for ball gags. That's not unfeasible in the near future. Now with Apple Home, everything is encrypted. Your requests are encrypted. The data stored about your home is encrypted. So it sounds like everything's just really hard for somebody to figure out what you're asking Siri to do in your home. A good example of Apple setup can be seen in the HomePod's keynote, where Phil tells us that the HomePod only starts listening when you say, "Hey Siri." Now none of this information is new, as Apple has made it clear in the last few years that personal information privacy is a top concern of theirs, whereas in Google and Amazon base their entire business models on mining your personal information in order to improve their services. However, at the end of the day, if your private data, information, you don't really care about it, then this doesn't really matter. I will say that last week I was walking to get brand new olive oil, or fresh olive oil, because it just tastes so much better. Little did I know that the store was closed on Thursdays, and it is not unrealistic for me to see Google Home or Amazon Alexa sending me a text alert saying, "Wherever you're going, we think you're going to buy olive oil, but heads up Aaron, the place is closed." So instead of me wasting all my energy in plus 30-degree weather, 30 degrees Celsius, it could have saved me that trip. That would be beneficial. When it comes to overall security, Apple again has the upper hand, as they claim that everything that occurs between your devices, between your home and Apple server, is encrypted in a way that even Apple can't see what's going on. When it comes to Google or Amazon, I have no idea if they can have the same claim. I know there's some sort of security between the services and devices, but they are not as open as Apple is when it comes to overall security. At the end of the day, I'm very certain that Google and Amazon are working very hard to protect everyone's data. What I don't like about the Google Home and Amazon Alexa setups is that I have to use a bunch of third-party apps and a bunch of third-party services. So there's a lot of fingers into my home, and I'm unsure of how stringent those companies are with their security. Do they have the same level of commitment to protecting my data as, say, a company like Apple does? I'd rather put all my eggs in a company that is flat out saying, we're going to protect your private data and we're not going to snoop on you, rather than letting my data just kind of float across half a dozen companies. I've got 6 different manufacturers for smart plugs for Amazon Alexa. I have to sign up for 6 different web services. 6 different companies have my personal information now. So those are all things to consider. For the normal human being, it might not be a big deal unless you're doing something illegal in your home, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Here's an example of why I'm kind of weary about, all these different third parties. When I was setting up my Nest Cam IQ, I couldn't get it to work, so I had to contact Nest customer support, and they were able to see all the devices that I had. So basically, my video feeds, my information is sitting with a third party that might not really need it. And really, well, I guess Nest is part of Google, so they probably prioritize protecting my information, but how about the other companies like KuGeek? I have no idea. It's an Amazon seller, so I have no idea how strong or how committed they are to my privacy and protecting my data. You know, another way to look at it is with Lego. Apple Home is this long piece, Amazon and Google is this equivalent piece made from several smaller blocks. Which one's going to be stronger? But I'm generally unfazed about companies using my data. Like I'm not completely paranoid about it just yet. So it might not matter. Again, it's a personal preference, but at the end of the day, do you really want to be seeing Google advertisements for ball gags? So the last part for this ultimate comparison video deals with remote access as well as controlling your home using your voice. So do check that out, as the link for that is going to pop up in the cards here pretty soon. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you plan on getting some smart home gadgets, go through my links because it helps me produce future videos like the one I'm making now. High five. Thanks for watching.